The self is referred to some so inner aspect of individual. I did it myself. Then there is a concept of self-image. Then that self is also implying whatever that is initiating, originating, triggering all action tendencies and actions. So there are diffused meanings. But we decided, or rather I decided that we'll have a little bit of a practical approach. That the self would involve 5 components: the body, intelligence, intellect, mind and spirit. So the body part we have not completely covered in a systematic way. Systematic in the sense of an anatomical, biological, physiological way. Completely. But I hope you will all continue, or you are all already developing whenever you get some free time and thought to know more about that operating entity that you is, which may not be a concern for a great majority of people. Today I am looking into the original translation of Patanjali Yoga Sutra, the original text, just the text alone translated into English language by Alistair Shearer. So in that there is a beautiful 20-26 pages of a preface written by one of the great philosophers of the West. In that, the introduction, in the very second page, page number 10, the first sentence is, the desire to know the self, S capital. Once again, page number 10 of the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, otherwise called Effortless Being, translated by Alistair Shearer, one of the great researchers in philosophy, an introduction by a great philosopher, a real great philosopher who was not that well known at that time. Even now, he was basically a Christian philosopher by denomination. His name is Saint Morgan and Pyra, 1980. This introduction was written in 1980. In the very second page of his introduction, the line is, the desire to know the self is implanted deep within each of us. Is it so? Interacting with thousands of people in training programs and for direct interviews, I have not found any evidence that they are all really interested in knowing the self. But maybe it is written in 1980 and he represents one of the greatest theologians. Theology in Christianity is not exactly the religion, the great philosophers of Christianity. The desire to know the self is implanted deep within each of us. I don't know actually, but I hope it is there with you. And the sentence continuing, this longing meaning, L-O-N-G-I-N-G, longing, what is longing, Nitya?
It's similar to the desire.
Exactly, yeah. This longing is the most refined expression of the dynamic urge to grow and progress, which energizes all life and motivates every aspiration. Next sentence. Only when we realize our true nature and the individual mind become infinite shall we be satisfied. Oh, what is it? Then only we feel satisfied. I think he is not a psychologist, he is not a statistician. It is definitely not within everybody at all. The individual, we often see us as people whom we know, we belong to, I suppose. Okay. And this is called enlightenment. What? Realizing the true self. And this enlightenment is the first and last freedom. In a sentence. It is the state of effortless being. Effortless being is actually the other word for Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. Yoga Sutras are finally meant to achieve and retain what they call effortless being. That itself is a topic of discussion. Effortless being. That means simply like that of a cinema, simply existing like a cat, with all alertness and all capacities to respond and react and express and behave. Then he is quoting 4 lines from one of the greatest English poets named T.S. Eliot. Heard of him, Vinay? Yeah, all of you. And 4 lines from great poets are also mystics. Mystic meaning the one who knows truth intuitively, we have always defined. That 4 lines are: we shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know, KNOW, the place for the first time. T.S. Eliot. And then he continues to say, the quest, Q-U-E-S-T, quest for the self has enthralled mankind since the dawning of desire. Ancient myths of every culture tell the same story of our search for wholeness. I don't know. Anyway, so to know the whole, W-H-O-L. And when we know the whole, then I have put another term, genius in self. Okay, when you become the genius in self, you will know what is effortless being. Okay. Today, I have posted a critical term, attention. In my decades or more, at least 2-3 decades of search, incubation, I am always at incubation. In fact, that is the only pastime, especially nowadays. Just like that, what I do is I just like that lay down and I am not at all asleep. Just attention directing to various locations of the body, attention taken out of the body and going anywhere. That's what I do. And in that process I realized that attention is our greatest capacity. Of course, attention is a property of the creature. Starting from the earthworm or the amoeba, attention is there. By the way, today I am, actually I thought of considering, there are 4 chapters, 4 critical chapters in the book of Effortless Being by Patanjali. The chapters are, Chapter 1, the settled mind, Chapter 2, treading the path, Chapter 3, expansion, and Chapter 4, enlightenment. So I thought of, on behalf of our attempt to understand attention, we will discuss the critical ideas or what, critical guidelines or critical information or critical knowing developed by the, according to me, the greatest genius in self in the history of mankind by name Patanjali. So chapter treading the path. Okay. So I will just we will just discuss the ideas in chapter 2, treading the path, 69, page number 69. So before that, what are your concepts about attention? Come on. You see? Attention is there. All of you are there. Now, make your own conceptualization. Conceptualization, I always repeat, is your ability to translate into words or carry into words your own observations, your own findings of your attention. Attention is kind of a torch. Attention is kind of an arrow delivered to the target, to know the target. Let us begin like that. Okay? Come on, how do you conceptualize attention? Come on, every one of you must be able to say at least a minimum 3 sentences about what is attention. Come on.
May I start, sir? I'm sorry about
Yeah, yes, Tintin, why not? Come on the stage.
Thank you. So attention is triggered by the senses, and then you focus on the loci of the stimuli. It is a...
Wait. You are talking very beautiful statement. In fact, I want you to explain it. Would you please repeat exactly what you said? It's a very profound statement. Come on.
Attention is triggered by the senses, and then you focus on the loci of the stimulation, sir.
Are you reading from somewhere?
No, sir.
Oh. What is it, Tintin? It's almost like defining. The statement is having the perfection and clarity and sharpness of a definition. Once again.
Attention is triggered by the senses, and you focus on the stimuli of which triggered it, sir.
Okay. Explain it. It's a very beautiful, very concrete conceptualization. It's almost like...
Once you are aware of that stimuli, then the mind focuses on it, and then you try to infer what you focused on.
Wait. Explain once again. You are saying that attention is triggered by the senses, right? Senses.
Yes, sir.
All right. In fact, in psychology, there is a huge chapter on attention. There is this much thick, almost 800-page thick book on attention alone. Psychology as a field of research in Germany. Okay? They were all having a totally different approach to psychology. And it is called Gestalt psychology, G-E-S-T-A-L-T. Okay? And they define attention almost, I am very surprised, almost the way you said it. Actually. Oh, okay. So attention is triggered by sensation. By the way, Tintin, when I give this feedback, it's an opportunity for you to be concretely sure about, to concretely trust the capacity of originating ideas in you also, Tintin. Alright?
Okay, sir.
All evolution is on the basis of feedback. I am just here as a sounding board most of the time. Okay, giving the feedback of the quality, the power, the sharpness, the expansion you are capable of, alright, at any given point of time. So to you said attention is triggered by the sensation and it is maintained by the locus of control of sensation, right?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. That is one angle. Definitely. Yeah. Can you give examples and continue on your own?
I'll take 3 examples, sir. One is you hear a sound and you suddenly are aware of it and you focus on it. That is one example. Then, let's say there is a wind and you actually feel it on your body or maybe your skin. And there's even a saying which says, put a finger to the wind and you're able to understand where it comes from. So third is the most normal one, wherein you have a visual stimuli and then you focus on it. I think that's the most common one.
Stop there. Right now, where is your attention focused on?
Right now it's focused on the concept of the word attention, sir, the thought.
So now it is the second orbit.
Sounding.
First you said very correctly, attention is rather triggered or invoked or elicited by any stimulus you all of you understand, okay? Or the senses, okay? It could be visual, or it could be auditory, it could be touch, it could be smell, mostly. Now you say the second orbit, that is, even a thought can invoke your attention. That's what you said, yes, correct. So, sensation, now your own thoughts, beautiful. So it's all important points, okay? Okay. These are all truths, okay? Come on, yes.
When we are woken up by a wild dream, is that thought invoking attention, sir?
Once again, Ganesh.
When we are woken up by a wild dream or a scary dream, can we take that as thought invoking attention?
Absolutely. Wait, Ganesh. All of you be very alert here. I told you in the beginning, I can talk another 15-20 minutes on attention, which I don't want to do now, because attention is an engine, it's an operating process, it is an ongoing process, or it can be an ongoing process in every one of you. We are not discussing medicine or chemistry or biology or physics or engineering. This is a reality that's going on right now. Okay. Therefore, whatever you say must be at least representing the reality of attention. Of course, Ganesh. Now, can you explain? This is, when I ask you, can you explain? I told you there are 3 dimensions to our sessions. I repeat. One is the topic, knowing itself. Second is our goal to reach genius in itself. Third is developing that competency of conceptualization which is required for your evolution as well as for your interaction and leadership of other people. Ganesh. Okay? Ganesh?
Got it, sir.
Now why don't you explain what you said?
So I think attention is usually a response to stimulus. But the moment you said there is an attention where thought will involve, I suddenly thought of waking up in the night because of a dream.
Beautiful.
So while we are sleeping, we are not seeing anything, nothing is touching us, but only thought is waking up, and then we wake up to the thought. So that is something newly I got revealed when you said thought also invoked attention, and I immediately thought of waking up from dream.
Yes. Whatever be the contents in the dream, again work in both ways, in 2 ways. One, as you said, in thought, and 2, as Tintin said, the visual content of the dream.
Correct.
Alright? So, it's a brilliant example which, in fact, Ganesh, even I would not have mentioned it on my own unless we proceed for another 10 hours on attention. Beautiful. So, the visual contents, the thought contents, and sometimes the experiential contents, most of the time, I don't know whether many of you have felt it or not, there could be an actual experiential content also in the dream. So, these 3, the actual feeling of the body experience, or let us say you are entering into a swimming pool in dream, you will feel actually the vibration and the turbulence of the water. So, that experience plus the thought plus the visuals of a dream together can suddenly invoke your attention to a large level, from a dreaming attention to the wakeful attention. There is attention during dreaming also. There is attention in the on condition in sleep also. That's why when somebody calls your name, 5 people are sleeping, one person just talks your name, you get up. Alright? So,
Yeah.
attention is an ever-present phenomenon in every cell of the body. We may come to that level. That's why I am choosing Treading the Path, chapter number 2 of Patanjali Yoga Sutras on effortless being. Yes, of course, Ganesh. Attention, yes, come on, yeah. And more of it, Ganesh, you can think of when you get a spare time. And you are responsible to your own thought process. That also, I remind you. Every one of you has to become a philosopher, has to be a researcher, has to be a mystic. What is a mystic? Knowing the truth of things and events and entities and phenomena on your own. Okay, you can borrow, you can be benefited by ideas developed by other mystics like Patanjali or Dhanvantari or Vyasa or in Bible or Quran or anywhere. Instead of getting just subscribing to those ideas, apply your thought process on that and make it your own. Originalize it yourself. That's an in-between thought which is slightly different from what we are discussing now. That's my method. We will not be talking on one topic, we will be discussing on related linkages. All our topics are like the wheel. Okay? Our session should be rolling, but at a given point of time we will talk about many critically relevant ideas also. So what I mean to say, Ganesh, is to actually write down what you said and to continue your research on whatever you said as the thesis topic, and there are as many possible explanations and interpretations and analysis and conclusions which will have immense benefits on you. All right. Okay, Ganesh. Beautiful. Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, next.
It's 22 hours.
What is attention? Attention, the English word A-T-T-E-N-T-I-O-N. It can be divided. Attention, there is a certain tension. Tension not in the conventional sense of tension. By modern electronic devices, we can actually see the brain waves, especially the alpha, beta, delta waves from the cerebral cortex showing huge vibrations on the screen when you are focusing on something. From a relaxed word, during absolutely trained subjects or trained people sitting in a relaxed condition, then there is a certain wave and a stimulus is shown in front of them. It could be a word, it could be a visual, it could be a narration. Then you can see huge variations in the visible curves on the screen. Okay, that tension I mean. That means cerebral process, the entire brain is working in attention. Yeah, come on. Attention. Okay, right now what other points you want to say? Anybody else?
So,
Also, yeah,
Sure.
go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, please. Please go ahead.
so it is an energy. It is an energy.
Wait. It is an energy. Stop there. It is, of course, an energy, the power of energy, the quality of energy, the sharpness of energy, the defined boundaries of energy. It is, when you talk about energy, I remember one of the not myths, okay, I don't know who exactly, Amaya knows it precisely the characters. So the great guru of archery, Drona, was having 3 disciples with him, and he had kept a kind of a bird on a tree, and he asked the first one, and they had to shoot the bird. Then he asked the first one, what do you see? One person said, I see the sky, the tree, and the bird sitting on a branch. Second one said what?
I see the bird.
Second one said that I see the bird. And third one said,
See the eye of
I see the eye of the bird. Great possibilities hiding there. These are three great disciples of the most powerful, the most competent guru of archery, Dronacharya. And the three disciples are, one of them was Arjuna. The guy who said, I see only the eyes was Arjuna. Anyway, again a parallel point that for every one of you, genius himself, there is either everything a myth or everything is a reality. Alright? So do not look at it as a story or parable. So one of the most competent chosen disciples say, I see the sky, the tree and the bird sitting on a branch. Second one says, I see the bird. And the third one says, I see the eye of the bird. See, these are precisely the three fundamental orbits of attention. Now the question is, why one person see, why what kind of a one person? Why one of the most competent disciples say, I see the sky, the tree and the bird. Second one says, I see the bird. And third one says, I see the eyes. See? So that precise, sharp, single line of attention. Okay? Then a little bit of that center beam of the torch of attention which you see the bird. Then a general attention which you see the sky, and sky meaning the background sky and the tree and the branch and the bird. So when you see like that, let us focus on the concept of energy. The energy is sharply directed on the eyes for one person. I told about one of the commandos by name Ravi Rudraraj. For 13 out of 14 shots, taking a pistol, when the moving target comes, 13 shots exactly in the bullseye. That's a different story. It's a matter of training, it's a different thing. But as an example, for the others it is the boundary. All of you know that target board. It's a square board with about 8 or 9 circles with a marks on that. And all of them would have, that I don't know what others did. Anyway, so something like that. When you do research on your attention, which you can do all the time, remember Shanoyu? Okay. Remember your prayers? Remember your interaction with other people? Recall your reading a document? Recall your listening to another person's dialogue? Recall your driving? Recall your any activity? Recall your expressions, your responses, your behaviors, your doings, your attitude, your attention that is guiding your relationships with the other person, and your attention on your language. Okay? All these are coming here, okay? Remember that. All these are driven by, monitored by, guided by our power of attention only. Attention and attention only. I told you I can explain almost anything in existence. Not because I learned about it, not because I have read about it. Because when you talk about something, I can see the referent of that, that's a different story that we will be discussing later. But I can see the bird's eye. So I talk about the bird's eye. I am talking about what I do. So I want every one of you to, I told you I am not the model. I am giving you guidance. I want every one of you to proceed much beyond what you understand from these things. I am only forcibly taking you to the path of this discussion. Okay, Treading the Path, chapter number 2, Patanjali. Alright, by the way, yes, it's an energy. Definitely it's an energy. I have evidence from another domain of knowledge. That is the Rasayanic domain of Ayurveda. There are Rasayanas precisely, according to the textbook of Charaka, Rasayanas meant for developing the power of attention. There is a Rasayanam by name Sri Siddha Modagam. In that it is mentioned your power of attention. They use the word Shraddha. In Sanskrit, Shraddha will improve, which I have seen in at least 3 or 4 or 5 cases. So-called mentally slow people, just by taking just 1 month dose of it, have gone to some what you call special schools. I'm talking about Suhail. The guy who was 21-year-old guy who was going to special school in class 8, in 1 year time he appeared for National Open School class 10 and passed. Of course with the tuition. That's a different issue. Because I strategically decided that the number one gate to develop him is by developing his power of attention. Because even when he was talking to me for the first time, he would talk about something, then stop the half sentence, then talk about something else. Even he looks here, there, smile, laugh, cry, etc., etc. Attention is divided. Attention has gone haywire because of the brain process. That's the difference. So because of the brain process. So attention is an energy, definitely. And I would go to one more extent, which to me nobody else has said. There is one advantage of reading all kinds of people, because then we will know the quality of our purpose. Attention is an energy that is delivered from our source to the target. That we will discuss. That is Treading the Path in Patanjali. Your attention can go from the source where you are right now sitting in a chair or in a room in Sydney or in Nilambur or in Bangalore or in Patna or in Bangalore or etc., and it can come here on my table. That is the possibility and potentiality of the energy of attention. Of course, that's a different story. I am not talking that you should develop that. It will take some time. And actually, it's of no use also. I told you I am also a kind of a practical. Okay, with your attention, you can go to the table of Vinay and you can say what are the things on his table. Okay, that's a kind of a, okay, you feel good about it. Other than that, it's of no use. But it's of use in the sense of treading the path of Patanjali. Okay? It's an energy, definitely. It's an energy that is released from the central nervous system to the external target, decided by your awareness or your consciousness. Okay? Then I will read out another significant statement in the introduction of Patanjali Yoga Sutra, again, which I don't have to read, but you see, it is in the very first page of introduction, page number 9. The whole thrust of evolution is to create increasingly complex systems. He is talking about the evolution of humanity, of the beings. Once again, the whole thrust of evolution is to create increasingly complex systems which are capable of reflecting an ever greater degree of awareness. Science has realized that that word is, it's an old book. It's okay. Anyway, it is not visible. Okay. Okay. Because of our neural system, because of the quality of the neural organization, which is most evolved in the human being, as a result, we have more consciousness at our disposal. Okay? It says that the human nervous system is the crowning glory of creation. Caught. Now, the human nervous system is the crowning glory of creation because it alone has the ability to reflect the unbounded source of life in its immaculate and radiant purity. Man is made in the image of God. I am just reading out that sentence, okay? That's why we discuss nervous system. It is an energy released by the nervous system, and I am very sure about that, directly researched by the work of the Rasayanas on so-called mentally retarded people. It is an energy. That's why you should have a proper management of your body, proper management of your mind, proper management of your thought process. Of course, in the context of enlightenment, in the context of genius himself. All right, beautiful energy. Okay, what you wanted to say, continue. Hi, lady. Oh, looking so beautiful. Like I saw you 20 years back. All right, come on, Nitya, continue.
And
Right now, a most beautiful being is sitting before me, named Parvati. Right now, sitting in the other side of the table. She was just now.
where is Parvati?
She was just now reached here and radiating. All right. Yes, Nitya, continue.
So, attention is an energy, and my attention is I am driving where it is going. That is what I wanted to say.
Oh, wait. What are you talking, Nitya? Do you understand what you talk? That's the beauty of originality. I'm changing the topic. There is creativity. That is, using the available data, you create a new idea, new equipment, new device, new methodology. Then something originating. Why I said originating? I am really not sure whether Nitya understood what she said. There's a doubt originating in the mind of Isaac Newton. Then he had to do a lot of research to discover whatever. Fine. Okay. What did she say? Come on, say that once again.
Attention is an energy, and I am driving that energy to wherever it should be going. That is my attention.
Oh. Yeah. You said, you know what the most critical word in that statement, if you repeat it?
So driving?
Driving, most of the people do, knowingly or unknowingly. You will do it unknowingly by the power of the stimulus. If there is a sudden sound, there is no way you have to attend on that. This is right now, beautiful visual present in before you. Your attention will be sort of forcibly taken out of you. Okay? The child who says that I cannot read a piece of poem in the class for 10 minutes, he will go on looking into a television tube for 20 hours together, because that's the power of the stimuli. Okay?
Yes.
So you are talking about you driving the attention. Yeah. That is the central topic of our discussion today. That's what I want every one of you to do that. I do that. And let me tell you about me. I took at least 2, 3, 4, 5 years, I don't know, I don't calculate what I did, to reach that level. To drive attention the way you want. That's what you say, Nitya.
Yes.
Knowingly or unknowingly. The way you want, like you have perfect control on your car. You are driving through just a wide open area. Otherwise your driving is controlled by the design of the road. Even there you have your own control. Precisely. You have to work hard to drive your attention by your conscious choice. without being interrupted by other kind of stimuli from the environment outside or environment within. But do you understand how could you say that? You said it, I don't know how. Alright, that is the first critical word. There is another most critical word. I don't know whether you will know that. But you try that. You said driving attention to?
Wherever I want it to be.
No. The second critical word is wherever. It's not at all easy, Nitya. I mean, that's what I experience. You know, attention, you are able to drive your attention wherever it goes. That's what you said. Do you understand, Vinay? Yeah. You're talking about driving the attention of the creature. Yes. In fact, because I asked you, the topic has to be changed, but I don't want to do it today. In fact, enlightenment will be definitely reached, I am telling you, guaranteed, if you are able to drive your attention wherever it goes. With a small presence of intent, of course. If you allow your attention to go wherever it goes, Nitya, what do you think? If you allow your hand to move wherever it moves its own, do you see? With the marvelous potentials of all the movements of the limbs, the hands and all that, the hand will move only the way you want it. Imagine for a second the hand move by itself. I am sure you may go unconscious out of fear. Yes? With all the potential of the body, the creature is just waiting. It does not make even a single movement on its own. I mean movement. But attention moves, consciousness moves, yes, of course. But most of the time, those movements are controlled by the existing mind settings, the interest, the attitude, the desire, etc., etc. But beyond that, the attention will move on its own. Try that. For example, though I am talking to Nitya, to everyone, when you lie down to sleep, if you go to sleep, that lying position, even before you actually feel sleep, just follow attention. Vinay, just liberate the attention from your control and see where it goes. In order to do that alone, it may take some time. Because the creature has attention. Attention is not a university degree you gather from anywhere else. It is a property, it's a primary property of every cell membrane. It's a power of every, I would say even so-called plants. The plant you keep inside your room, it will gradually go towards the window where the sunlight is available. It is there even with the ants and the earthworms, with the butterflies and all other insects. And to me, attention is the universe. Okay, Nitya? The entire universe is nothing but an energy field. Attention is the universe. Attention is the power of every being. Every being is able to sustain itself because of the property of attention given to every cell membrane. Vinay, every being is not the contents of the cell, but every being is nothing but the cell membrane. Anyway, this much and many more things are coming to my mind. Come, let us stop it. So, the point here is, when, if you remember, every day you go to sleep trying to detach from your attention and and just watch where your attention is going. But have some control. It will go anywhere. She said wherever. It will go anywhere, Nitya. It may go to some incident happened in the office, or a dialogue with a colleague, or something you saw on the road, or something you had taken as a dinner today, or anything, wherever, meaning wherever. But in order to have some control on it, please, I told you, have a trace of your intent, I-N-T, that you focus attention going inside your body, wherever it goes. First you will feel the heart, then you just watch it, then it shifts to the abdomen. I'm just giving an example. Then it shifts to the thighs, then it shifts to the backside, then it shifts to the dress, then it shifts to the cheek, then it shifts to the nostril, then it shifts to the lungs. It will go on just like that, a live kite without a rope. And just follow it. Follow it, and finally that will... Okay, I stop it there. Do it, Vinay. Okay, let us look at it in a little more limited way. A little baby is born, his attention is just evolving. It goes to the entire surroundings, and some stimulus, the human being is touching it, fondling it, covering it with a cloth and things like that, In our period of 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 9, so 9 months to 12 months, its attention is almost completely captured by the stimulus situation around. And by the time it is able to talk 1, 2, 3 years, it goes anywhere. It talks about the flower, it talks about the bird, it talks about the tree, it talks about the sky, it asks questions about the whatever, it is going. And we are all trying to get it controlled over limited things in the surroundings. Take the attention of the child to something more. What is perhaps the only difference between the so-called brilliant student who gets top rank and the other one? Not able to manage attention. Sitting there to study, tomorrow is the exam, next week is the exam. Right now I feel like a disturbance on the body, or I feel like sleeping, or I feel like, wherever it goes also. So let me go to sleep. The other one decides, okay, I have to pass. An idea is kept in the mind. I must get somehow the cut-off points or the top rank, and he is able to direct his attention regardless of the disturbance of the body to read and reread and write and rewrite and try to comprehend what is written in the book. Attention is able to control. That itself is the evidence that attention is an energy. When you are tired, you say, no, don't disturb me, I want to sleep. Attention is an energy. That's why all the so-called yoga positions demand you to sit in a calm, cool, relatively silent area, to adopt a posture, because body in any posture, normal sitting posture, normal walking posture will not have that much control on the energy of attention. So keep the body position stabilized, and then you focus on something. Meditate. Incubate. That means focus your attention on something. There are so many, anything, it can be on anything. There is a conventional meditation, you keep a black dot on a white sheet and keep in front of you on a wall and go on looking only there. There also that attention, that untrained attention, okay, you want to look only on that black spot on the paper, you are able to look at it maybe, let us say, by measurement 10 seconds, again attention go elsewhere, again you bring it back, again it goes, again you bring it back. After 10, 12, 14 days, okay, attention is under your control. Attention is like a bloody wild horse when you allow it to be free. When you tame that horse of attention, the wildest horse of attention, that is your, then you can do anything with that attention, because attention is an energy, everything is an energy. When your attention goes to the plant, you will know everything about the plant, everything about the rock, everything about the rain, everything about the skies, everything about the planets. That's how the Patanjalis and the Bhaskaras and the Vagbhadas were generated, just by the power of attention only. You want to drink some tea or water or something? Orkandan kaikana. Baby is okay? She's alright, okay.
She was hungry, so we had something to eat.
That's why called the engine of attention. Like Nitya used the concept of driving. How do you drive that engine of attention? By the way, whether Nitya finished all that she wanted to say. Come on, finish.
So sir, that's all I wanted to say, that
Yeah.
driving the attention, yeah.
And in that there's a great guideline you have mentioned unknowingly, that you have to realize, Nitya and everyone. When you are so free, when you are so effortless sitting there, which you are already now, that power of attention will go wonderful, and it will just like that capture critical, let's say, concepts. I told you conceptualization. What is conceptualization? Carrying into words whatever you personally observe. She herself will know the beauty of her statement. I think she may take another 14 days of actually trying to control the attention. Actually trying to allow the attention to go wherever it is and gently follow where this attention is going inside your body. Going, something will happen. What will happen, I don't want to tell you. In fact, about 1982 or so, I discovered what Nitya said. When I was at IIM Ahmedabad, one night, I was so enthralled by that moment of truth, and I got up and I wrote another 20-25 pages. And next day I typed it into my computer, and there was a title for that article. That is the method, of the correct method. It is even now there. What it was is, based on my discovery, that when the attention is allowed to fly freely, it will, by its natural tendency, by its allegiance to its origin in the processes of the body, it will finally fly and reach its target sitting on the top of the pinnacle of a mountain, where the source of you is available. I named it method of correct method, in the sense that just follow your attention. And that name, the method of correct method, also occurred to me at that point of time. In essence, it is nothing but following the free flight of the bird of your attention. Because, again I repeat, because that bird of attention belongs to the engines of the central nervous system or of your body, it will naturally fly towards its own destination. Like T.S. Eliot said, it has to. Because firstly it will, like a little baby, it will search the mother here and there, and finally will reach the mother. Wonderful. So we have got a real method to trade the path. Is it clear, Naveen, what to do? Just allow your attention to fly and meticulously follow wherever it goes. I repeat the example session. You focus, of course, your closed eyes, you are lying down on the bed. Attention is restricted inside the campus of your body. It will go anywhere, wherever. Okay. Just follow. It will definitely shift from one place to the other of the body, and just follow it. Always. Yeah. Yes, Tintin got it? That is called effortless being. It will also trigger the nobodiness of you. Because the I is maintained by your constant trained attention on the self-image, the contents of your memory, your consciousness about the you as a social being. As a social being. Social being meaning you as related to your husband or your wife or your children or your colleague, that experience of that history of your social connectivity. That attentionally maintains the you in you. Attention creates the you. Morning 6 o'clock you get up, suddenly everything about you is at call. It's where your attention trained to recollect you, which is not there with a child, little baby. Decades of training, every minute of training. Attention restrained within the boundaries of the house, within the boundaries of the people, within the boundaries of the doing required to be done by a child, as directed by the other people. So many decades going out, your attention is unconsciously, without your awareness, your attention is controlling you, how to walk, how to look, etc. Okay? As a silly, simple example, you are anyway you like inside your home, you get out of the front door, walk to the main road, even though there is somebody or others, you are a different being because of the attention which can spread into every nook and corner of your awareness. What happens in so-called mental illness? Like schizophrenia, attention is everywhere. There is a state of schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is the name of the most difficult, complex type of so-called mental illness. Schizophrenia, schizo meaning divided, phrenia meaning brain, like divided brain. The first and foremost symptom of schizophrenia is absolute cut off from so-called reality. Because the person may smile, laugh, cry, talk 20 ideas in one sentence and so on and so forth. Attention has gone out haywire. Whereas the so-called normal people, that attention is maintaining that so-called whatever is considered okay, normal for the given person. So attention defines and directs and guides and drives the you at any given point of time. That is attention. Look at the attention of a female walking on the road. Look at the attention of a male walking on the road. That's why females are in general more powerful than the males. Because they have to have more number of variables in their field of attention walking on the road than the men. Even without looking, a female can know who are all walking beside her or even behind her. Even the slight slip of a piece of cloth, she notices it because of her attention. Almost every learning is nothing but training attention. how the fingers are to move on the frets of a guitar, how the fingers are to move on the keys of a piano. Depending upon the energy available, depending upon the what you call coincidental experience in managing attention, somebody would learn faster than the other person. Everything is attention. What happened in the ancient Gurukulas were in the beginning? Training attention. Why they never allowed their disciples to go out of their monastery to their own homes? Because they wanted to train their attention in the domain. And develop more and more ideas by keeping in mind that a human being or any being is nothing but an attention field, operated by, driven by an attention power. Okay, this was I put a full stop. Any other ideas? Continue. Or most of the ideas we discuss in the program are nothing but the point is proceed. Look at the attention of Ayrton Senna, who are the names of the world-class race drivers. I told you one dialogue with what you call Karthik, the Indian race course driver.
Narayan Karthikeyan.
Yeah, Karthik, I mean, he is indirectly related to me also. One day he was telling me at 400 kilometers per hour, of course, nobody goes. I am not driving the car. Karthika, I don't think he is a man of wisdom or anything. He just said, I am driving myself or something like that. I forgot. Of course. Even you are not driving the car. That was during the beginning learning stage. Turn the steering this much, apply the clutch this much, apply the brake this much, shift the gear this way, etc. Now you don't do anything. Your attention has been trained how to put your fingers on the frets of a guitar, how to put the gear at the right point of time, to what extent you have to press the brake. You don't have to do it consciously. Okay, this is the speed of my vehicle, there is the obstacle, so I must apply this much of pressure on the brake pedal so that it stops exactly. No! Yeah, there's a lot attention. How to drive that engine of attention. Yes. You got some clarity on how to proceed, Nitya, everyone? Sarah? Parvati?
Yes, Sundarji.
Tintin? Christabel?
Yes, sir.
She knows the difference between best of her trainees in a complex dance form. The girl with the maximum attention, the trainer, the coach, Christabel can know, this girl is getting it. But she may not tell it publicly. She is instructing 30 girls at a time on how to keep her fingers or how to manage her legs or how to manage the body and all those things. And one girl gets it completely. She must be talking to them, varied ideas, so that one or two or three of the ideas will click, one or two or three or different people. But one of them see the sky and the bird and the tree and the bird, another one see the bird and another one see just the eye of the bird. The eye of the bird. The eye of the instruction on how to keep the posture of the body in doing that ballet or Russian ballet, whatever it is. How she developed it, in fact, when we interview her, we will know. There must be a background for that girl. Otherwise, it is not possible. That's why we must be discussing wonderful topics where attention can go to unlimited locations with a child. Instead of directing him to the daily routines and the regimented operations inside the house and in the nursery school and the schoolrooms. That's why the difference of the ancient schools in Kerala. The teacher would every day spend about 5 minutes to talk about many things other than the subject matter. Unlike the modern stupid teachers who just talk the subject and get out of the room. Attention. Attention creates the world. Attention maintains the world. So, in fact, in our whole sessions till now on genius and self, today is a major turning point where you have to derive a clear strategy on how to evolve, how to utilize the energy of your attention. Because attention is your only support. Attention is the only tool which will fly anywhere and get the secret of that place. Attention goes as energy and merges with the energy of that plant, and it will reveal to you all the details about that plant. Attention will go from you to the textbook. I told you, I was a stupid hooligan and I just read a book only once. I don't know whether anybody else would have done it. I told you I used to repair most of the electronic, electrical, mechanical equipment. I do not know the ABCD of any of them. I just look at it and I know. I intuitively know what is it. And I do something and it starts working. I told you I wrote 9 directions, 9 guidelines on how to improve the automobile engine so that petrol can be saved. I did not know anything about the automobile engines. I sent that letter to Osamu Suzuki and I got the reply saying that almost 7 of them were tried and the 9th one is impossible. And that 9th one is right now tried in Mercedes-Benz some 2 years back. That is the power of attention. I realized how Dhanvantari or Charaka and Sisruda could know all the details of the plants and the seeds by the power of attention only. By the energy of attention. It works like a tube and it gets connected to that. And depending on your interest and inspiration, knowing will come to you. No doubt. Things will happen to you. And I want every one of you to try the first thing. The tool is attention. And how to train your attention is by doing what I call the method of correct method, or what Nitya said today. Just allow the attention to get out of your conscious control and just be an observer of your attention in a limited space of your body. This is a strategy, I said. If you sit outside with your open eyes, there are uncountable, infinite number of items. So it will be difficult. First train it within the boundary of the body. And follow it. Because you do not know what is there. When you know something, like Vinay, he is a physician, he is a medical genius. He has to direct his attention to what he knows. then it will see more things than that is there. What is the difference in attention of the educated person and the uneducated genius? The educated mind is controlled by that knowing. Attention goes only within that knowing and it is restrained by the boundaries of that knowing. Established knowledge. So I told you the social being, the society, that knowledge outside there created by some wonderful people, that is an unchallenged body of knowledge and our attention is bottled there, captured there, it cannot go out of it. That's why the greatest poet is uneducated. That's why all great geniuses are uneducated. All creative people in the history of the world, they are all non-schooled and non-educated people. They happen to, not necessarily very minor number of people, but they somehow happen to have something which they do not realize exactly, though I'm sure they might have had beautiful coincidences in their developmental times by which their awareness, their consciousness, their self, their I-ness in them got some kind of a control over their attention. What else? What else can go out of you and reach a target? This much of explanation is enough. Okay, follow this. From today onwards, at least 5 minutes of every day, as you go to your bed, whenever possible at least, allow your attention to go out of the strings and see where it goes, and wherever it goes, follow it. And that is one strategy to get hold, get control over your attention. By following it, you gain control over your attention. Right now, attention is controlled by the power of the stimulus. Stimulus meaning the object of attention, the person standing there, the ideas in the book, the situation outside. They remote control your attention. Like a cantankerous schoolboy, he is able to sit in front of the TV because the TV program is controlling his attention. He is continuously there for 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours. But when he has to attend a lecture going on there by his own choice, it just does not happen. So, you gain control over attention by following it. That is one trick, that is one problem. Because you are the receiver, you are the empty cup. You control your attention when in your knowing, in the domain of your knowledge of medicine or engineering or dance or administration. But when you want to know the unknown, you have no other way than gently allow your attention to slight loose control of your intent to go wherever it goes, because you are not directing, it may not go precisely to the target, but have that trust and belief and benevolence to allow the attention to somehow reach the target. It will, today or tomorrow. Anyway, that's the only way. Alright, beautiful, Nitya. See, I am sure Nitya said all these things. This again I am pointing out as an evidence of the so-called originality. It originated in her. It is not a learned statement. And what Tintin said, I told her, it is a definite, it is almost a statement in any book on Gestalt psychology about attention. There are even theories about attention, how it is directed by the sensation and perception. Alright, come on, anything else, anybody? Yeah, that's enough. I think you have touched the pinnacle of the possibility of attention by that, what you call it, driving your attention. Is it a driving? Yes. But is it a driving? No. Imagine a bird. You can have convenient images. Create a beautiful image of a bird of your choice of design and size and color. Okay? Nothing. The power of imagination. Again the power of attention only. We will come to that later. So create a beautiful image of your attention. That itself will allow you to have some so-called control on your attention energy. Give it a shape by the conscious self of you. And every day you take out that bird and allow it to fly, give its wings the freedom to fly and see where it goes. Alright? Okay. Now almost 1 hour is taken, right? What is the time now? Alright. Okay. Treading the path, chapter number 2. Treading the path, path to enlightenment, path to genius himself. And methodologies or guidelines or intents suggested in this can work out only by the power of attention, not by thinking. If you cannot think about something that you do not know, how can anybody in the world think about something that they do not know? Impossible. But attention, that bird of attention, that eagle of attention will go anywhere on its own. And that's the only way. Of course, you cannot direct attention unless you know the target. Yeah, thanks to that. All right. Yes. There are, in that chapter on treading the path, in the original book of Effortless Being, there are, I think that is the largest chapter. There are 55 points. I don't know how many of it will be covered today. 1. These are all words. Actually, before we go to this, we have to practice a little bit of referent perception, which we have been indirectly understanding every time. Referent meaning whatever that is named by a given word. Alright, Vinay, clear? Whatever that is. Sometimes it can be as clear as a comb, and sometimes it can be as debatable as blue, or sometimes it is as debatable as I love this comb. Alright? Okay. 1. This is the original translation, so there are no extra words. Purification, comma, refinement, comma, surrender, full stop. These are the practical steps on the path of yoga. This is what I talked about in case of attention. It should be pure, it should be uncorrupted by any surrounding influences. That's why you cannot sit in, of course, you can sit in a railway station also to meditate if you are trained, but why the ancient mystics chose to go to the caves in the deep dark corners of the forest mountains is because it is very supportive, right? It is very conducive. You don't have to waste a lot of energy to manage the energy of attention. All thing is an energy. In between there is attention also is an energy. Sensation also takes up energy. But everything is energy, everything is energy dynamics only. Whether it is in the internal world or in the physiological world.